Hi everyone, my name's Melissa Desveaux and I'm the author and publisher of our new book called Letters of Love. We've got it here. I'm just doing a few interviews with some of the authors in the book. Letters of Love is a collection of different letters, 12 different letters written by them from around the world, and they're love letters basically to the people that they love and care about. So today I have with me Libby Monica. She is one of the authors, and welcome, Libby. How are you?
Hi, Melissa. Thank you very much. Well, thank you.
Awesome. I'm so excited to have you here. I really appreciate you being here and talking to me today. So, and I know everybody here will actually love your story once they read it. So, do you want to introduce yourself and just let us know, who you are and what you do?
I'm delighted to be here as well, Melissa. Thank you very much. And it's actually great to have an interview. This is not something I do typically in my day-to-day. So it's a challenge in ways, but also very exciting. Yeah, so a little bit about me. My background is I have many years experience working in accounting and office admin work. That's what I've done most of my career. Mm-hmm. And through that as well, I've worked in the development sector because from very early on in my life, I've always had a passion for working with people, working within the community, volunteering, and just making an impact and making a difference in people's lives. And I suppose a lot of that would have come from my mom because she was a people's people. Like, I grew up in a very large family and we would have cousins at home all the time. There was never my space or my things. We just shared a lot of love in the home. So I suppose that really had a big influence on me and the person that I've become. And more recently, actually, since, COVID came upon us, I've been establishing myself as an author. Again, that's a passion I've had from a very young age. I would always have a piece of paper and a pen and I'll be scribbling away, and I journal a lot as well, just for my own day-to-day and mental health. So, this makes this experience really lovely because it does establish me as a published author, and what a great way to start, writing letters of love to people that I care about and people that are part of my life. And as well as that, I'm also working and establishing myself as a mindset and empowerment coach. That's a lot to do with all the experience that I've had in life, and sharing some of that with people that, particularly at this time, might be struggling for different reasons.
Wow, that's awesome. So why did you decide to write Letters of Love and be part of the book project?
This opportunity, it was really about alignment. When you put out the call, I remember I had actually just completed the writing strategy training program with yourself. And like I said, there was always a part of me that wanted to write, to become an author. And, again, my relationship with my mom, I always had this in me that, I would love to write something about her, just a story, because she has an amazing story about her life and where she came from. And so when you put out this call, I didn't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
Just the topic of love, the fact that I had people that I could write letters to, and the fact that I'm also learning to write as an author, it just really came together well. And here I am, the letter is written and we're doing interviews and share it with the world.
Exactly. And so, because you have two letters, what are your letters about, and who are they to? So you've already told me one is, but who is the other one? And did you want to explain, or do you want to? But firstly, tell us who they're to, and why did you want to write about them?
So I wrote letters to my mom, and I wrote letters to my children. I'm a mom of 3, 2 daughters and a son. The one about my mom, it's really, I suppose, thanking her, just sharing. It's a bit of a memoir because I touch on some of my childhood memories and a lot of gratitude, a lot of lessons that I've learned, that she's been a part of my life through ups and downs, and that's reflected in my letter. And then the one to my children, being a mom, I would say arguably the most important role in my life. I consider my children a blessing. And this letter is really thanking them as well, thanking them for being a part of my life. But it's a bit of, it's fun. The letters to them are more fun, just, I suppose, my support for them in what they do, my appreciation of them, my hope for their future. I hope that, they grow up to be people that make an impact, people that touch people positively. So again, I think that's reflected in the letter to them. And most importantly, this is something that they will have for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm glad to have had the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I read my letter to my kids the other day, and it's fun as well. It's not like very serious, but it goes to adulthood, and when they listened to it, my son actually had tears in his eyes, and my older one, he was like listening intently, like he really enjoyed listening to it. So it was really nice, just to see them react to the letter. So it's a special thing, and I think everybody that has written their letter has put all their heart and soul into their letters, and it's reflected as well within them, because everybody is really contributing, and they're feeling the love, and they're feeling how can I say, they're just really into it. That's how I feel anyway, because I've read all the stories, and you can see with their personalities and things like that they really are connected to the book. So I can't wait for everybody to read it.
And I have to add there, Melissa, that it's not an easy thing to do.
No.
I remember sitting there reading this letter and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm actually sharing my deepest feelings with the world, and it's hard, but at the same time, I think we need more of that.
That's right.
We really do. It's just that connection, and you just never know. Somebody needs to read that letter just to lift up their day,
Exactly.
And if I would hope that if my letter does that, even just one person has that bit of positive impact, I'll be delighted with that. Because life is tough. We're living in very trying times, and there's just no telling, So anything uplifting, anything positive, anything that just puts a smile on somebody's face, I think it's so important to share those stories.
That's
and
right.
I am looking forward to reading the other 11.
So, you probably just touched on that a little bit now, but how do you want people to feel, and is there anything that you want them to learn when they read your letter?
When they read my letter, I suppose the key thing is, look, there's hope. There's always hope. I understand, I went through a difficult time, before, and you can get to a place where you think, is there any point, where you just have that total dejection. And it's not a nice place to be. It can be quite dark. It can feel very, very lonely. And when you're in the midst of it, it feels like it's just you, and we ask these questions, why me? And this is just so hard. I can't do this anymore. But you know what? Here I am. Like I always say, when you look at it in the context, I'm the better person for having gone through that period, because I look back now, I'm stronger, and I know that, I'm not alone in this. And I know that, once I've I'm in touch with that strength again. And my faith is a big part of me. You know, I was raised by a woman of strong faith. And I remember my mom always saying to me, and again, you know, it's in the letter, she'd always say to me, Libby, there's a time for everything, you know. There's a time for everything. This will pass. And she was so right. You know, we go through seasons. You know, one day it's winter, the next day it's spring. Sometimes we're smiling, we're happy, life is exactly as we wish it to be. And sometimes we're just going through times where you just think, oh gosh, I can't do this anymore. You know? So I hope that this letter has a true sense of that it just reiterates the fact that there is hope. And there's always hope and love. You know, we need love. And again, you know, with all the negativity around us, and I think newspapers, honestly, I've reached a point where I say to myself, I will not read a newspaper.
Yeah.
Too much information about everything else. But okay, we can't always avoid it because we need to know what's going on.
Yeah.
But the key message is, look, with love, we can overcome anything. But there's always hope. You know, don't give up.
So true. Your words are so true. And actually, you know, that is, well, last year is, you know, was full of, you know, the COVID negativity and, you know, people, you know, dying and, you know, all this, you know, all this heartache in the world. And that is probably one of the sole reasons is why I wanted to get this book together, to bring hope and to bring love and to bring positivity in the world. So I'm hoping that, you know, it does get shared, you know, to a lot of people, and, you know, it does make an impact in the world. So thank you so much for sharing that. And just on that, do you want to add anything else? Do you want to talk about anything else? Could be yourself, yeah, whatever.
Not a whole lot more. I think I find it easier to write. I mean, the only thing I did say, you know, again, the letters of love, I remember thinking, okay, I knew my mom and my children, but it did occur to me that if I was to write a letter of love to everybody that's been so kind to me, I would be writing for a very long time. You know, so I'm grateful for that. You know, there are people that have just stepped in and just said the right words, you know, just being there when I needed it. And that's also very important. We need to be there for each other. You know? And you just don't know the impact that you're having on somebody, you know, at that particular time. So kindness goes a long way.
It does. It does.
And yeah, it can sometimes be easier said than done, because of course we get hurt and nobody's perfect. But forgiveness is a process as well, you know. And that would be another letter and another book altogether. You know, but yeah, so look, plenty of love in the world is what we need, you know, and kindness and gratitude. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all that. I really do appreciate you. Is there a way we can contact you if somebody wants to reach out?
Yes, there is. On my Facebook account, which I know you're going to share, I won't try to recite it, I couldn't remember it myself. And my website, www.libbymonica.com.
Thank you so much. Well, that concludes our interview. Thank you again so much. Thank you, Libby, for being part of the book. I love your letter, and I'm sure everybody else will as well. We will launch on the 1st of February, and I hope you can join us for the launch party as well. We're getting so close now and doing so well in the rankings as well. So you can pre-order the book. The links are below to pre-order as well. So again, thank you, Libby, for being here, and thank you, everybody. We will talk soon. Bye.
Thank you, Melissa. Thanks for the opportunity.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.